From lush rainforests filled with bird song to wind-blown volcanic desert, Haleakalā National Park protects a rare and sacred landscape. Rising from sea level to over 10,000 feet, the park preserves diverse habitat for more than 50 endangered species. Unique plants, rare birds, even tiny insects found nowhere else on Earth. The Aina, or land, tells the stories of centuries of tradition, where Kanaka Maoli, native Hawaiians, were provided abundant resources for life in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. In 1916, the National Park Service joined countless generations in the stewardship of this land and the traditions that link the past to the present and future. Haleakalā National Park on the island of Maui is divided into three distinct areas: the summit, the wilderness area, and Kīpahulu.
If you are into a rocky and volcanic landscape, the summit of Haleakalā is for you. This area of the mountain is known as Vauakua, which is the realm of the gods. So Akua is the Hawaiian word for God, and Vau refers to the realm that we are in. Native Hawaiians still come up to the mountain and do an oli, or a chant, or a hula, or a dance.
E ala e kalai kai kina I kamuana honu pi kalevanu I kahikina ayakala e ala e.
Humans are the same no matter what culture you're from. You're drawn to these amazing mountaintops.
High elevation, dry air, and lack of light and air pollution make the summit of Haleakalā an ideal skywatching location. Impressive by light of day, the summit takes on a new dimension after sunset, when darkness reveals a brilliant night sky. Day or night, remember that the weather on top of a 10,000-foot mountain is often unpredictable. It may be hot and dry or cold and wet. Water, sunscreen, and layers of clothing are essential. Wear proper footwear and be sure to walk slowly in the high, thin air. Between the summit and Kīpahulu lies the Haleakalā Wilderness, showcasing dramatic and unexpected landscapes in the upper reaches of the park. The impressive summit crater of Haleakalā is actually the meeting of two valleys, formed over millennia by weathering and erosion, creating a dramatic bowl. Dozens of lava vents and cinder cones have filled this bowl with countless shades of red, gray, and brown. Windy and exposed, this vast expanse of lava and cinder appears barren, but signs of life can be found throughout this bewildering landscape. The most striking is the Ahinahina, the Haleakalā silver sword. Adapted to the harsh sunlight of high altitude, With leaves insulated by silver hairs, Ahinahina can live for up to a century, but flower only once. In just a few weeks' time, they send up a tall stalk of maroon flowers, pollinated by native insects. Soon after, the Ahinahina dies, scattering its seeds in the wind to begin a new generation. Visitors to the Haleakalā Wilderness can day hike, spend the night in a tent, or reserve a historic cabin along the trail. In just a few miles, your feet can take you from towering cinder cones to dripping cloud forests draped with moss. In the lower, wetter parts of the wilderness, attentive hikers may see endangered nene and rare honey creepers. While at night, the hunting calls of ua'u, nesting seabirds, echo beneath a star-filled sky. The Haleakalā Wilderness, as its name implies, is wild and remote. The air is thin, water is scarce, and the weather, often changing unpredictably, can be severe. Before any hike, stop by a park visitor center to discuss your plans, and overnight hikers will need to pick up a wilderness permit. Accessed via the famous Hana Highway, lush rainforests, towering waterfalls, and rocky coastlines greet your arrival at Kīpahulu. While the summit is Vau'akua, the realm of the gods, Kīpahulu is Vau'kanaka, the realm of people. Abundant water, fertile soil, and ocean access provided resources for permanent habitation. And Kīpahulu remains home to a thriving culture where Kanaka Maoli, native Hawaiians, celebrate the bond between the land and its people. Today, the national park shares these traditions through storytelling and cultural demonstrations.
Demonstrations include weaving, cordage making, hale building, taro farming. Everything that we do and share is important so that it won't get lost. It doesn't work when you have all this knowledge and you don't share it out.
Unlike the windy, exposed summit, Kīpahulu is often hot and wet, with up to 400 inches of rain falling in the upper valley each year. Oheo Stream, with its entire length protected in the national park, is one of a few intact freshwater stream ecosystems in Hawaii, and native fish and shrimp still thrive in these waters. While the pools and waterfalls may look inviting, swimming is not recommended. Frequent rains trigger rock slides and flash floods, which can occur unexpectedly, sometimes leading to serious injuries and death. For a safe visit, obey all park personnel, heed all warning signs, and stay out of closed areas. In the upper Kīpahulu Valley lies the remote Kīpahulu Biological Reserve. Richly biodiverse, the bogs and rainforests of Upper Kīpahulu Valley protect nearly pristine and increasingly rare Hawaiian ecosystems.
What we're protecting is bird habitat, native forests, a koa forest, a ohia forest, and thousands of other known plants.
So many of the plants that you see here today are not going to be found anywhere else in the world. They're endemic species specific, not just to Hawaii, not just to Maui. Some of these plants are specific to Haleakalā.
Entry to the Kīpahulu Biological Reserve is only allowed to park managers and scientists working diligently to understand and protect this rare jewel of native Hawaiian rainforests.
What the national park has done is the same thing that the Hawaiians have been always doing within their environment, is to protect a special place.
These are just places that people love. National parks are awesome, and we're very fortunate that it is protected. Otherwise, this will not be here for future generations. People from all over the world are coming to Haleakalā because they want to see what it's all about.
With the help of kupuna, Native Hawaiian elders, along with volunteers and visitors, Haleakalā National Park is dedicated to stewarding the treasures of this rare and sacred landscape.